Novel Tea with S&B is a show about two sisters-in-law who share their love of books and tea.
Sometimes they read together, sometimes not. Sometimes horror, but mostly smut.
They review and recommend the books they've read and chat about other fun topics too.
Don't worry, they won't spoil anything, and if they do, they'll warn you.
Also be warned, this show is not for kids, or for anyone who might be offended by horror or sex talk, or both.
Looking at you, Mom.
Hello, and welcome back to Novel Tea with S&B, the book club with a podcast. I'm your co-host, Beck.
And I'm Stephanie.
Today we're bringing up a special blend of bad books, brilliant tea, and fascinating author interview.
That's right. We've got D.V. Leigh joining us to chat about her latest release, Hollowed Misfits.
But before we dive into that, buckle up for our KU Cringe segment. Oh my god, I'm so excited. We subject ourselves to the worst literature Kindle Unlimited has to offer.
And of course, we'll be sipping on some delicious tea throughout the whole thing.
So grab your favorite mug, settle in, and get ready for a wild ride. Let's get steeping.
So what tea are you drinking today?
I just found my boysenberry tea, black tea from Knott's Berry Farm. They're boysenberry. They every spring they have a boysenberry festival. I got some tea last year. It's still good. I checked the Best By date.
That sounds good.
It is fruity, sweet, and tart. California in a cup. So I'm very excited.
It sounds good though. You like it?
Oh yeah. I love boysenberry. It's so good.
Yeah, boysenberry is really good. I'm drinking Hardy & Sons Cherry Blossom Tea, and I've had it before, and mine's still good too. I had to check the date, but it's still good. And it's a blend of green tea, vanilla, and cherry, and it's really good. It's starting to warm up here again, so I'm just not feeling the fall teas right now. It's already getting warm, so not hot, but warm.
I had to look through
I wanted the cherry blossom.
I had to look through my cabinet too, and like, pumpkin chai just is not going to cut it today.
No. Yeah, I went grocery shopping and it was like, I don't know, in the 70s. So I'm like, been outside already. I'm like, you know what? I want something. Yeah, cherries. Cherries are perfect. Cherry blossom. So
they are perfect.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. I want to hear about the V-Day Vanpires. And I'm sure our listeners do too. So can you please? Please.
Ruby and the V-Day and November Vanpires. Vera Valentine, she's a fucking trip, dude. Like, there's another author, J.L. Legos. I'm probably saying that way wrong, but I don't know how to pronounce it. But so I gave this smutty smut 1 star. It was just over the top, of course. And these are so hard to rate because, like, we're not taking them seriously. And I mean, that is the total point. But I think we should, like, start like a cringe scale.
Oh yeah.
So like in that case, I give this 3 cringes out of 5. Okay. So she was
average.
Yeah. It wasn't. I mean, it was average cringe. It could have been a lot worse. Which is kind of better for the segment, but whatever. So she was a middle-aged woman, which is glorious. Unlike Pestilence, her face wasn't melting off. They were obsessed with her. They thought she was perfection. 3 vampires were just in love, and it was a pretty funny happily ever after. At the end, they all moved in together, and it mentions like the HOA things, and I guess she moved into her house and like a long time ago, and when they built around her, they're like instated this HOA, and she's like, I'm not signing it, so they can't, like, the rules don't apply to her, and it's talking about the van being parked out front. It was pretty funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was funny. It was pure smut. I mean, it was just I mean, she's like, oh, vampires, and then it begins.
So I do have a question.
Yeah.
Are they the type of vampire that can go out during the day, or are they legit?
They can, but they sparkle.
No.
Yeah. So they typically don't. And their form isn't actually human. They're in human form because everyone's scared of them if they're not in their human form.
Valentine.
And so one of them like changes in front of her because he can't like control himself, and he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I know that just scared you. And she's like, I liked it, and it's so weird. And
so what are they?
They have like wings, like bat people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they're like scary looking too.
Oh,
not to Vera, or
well, of course not. Ruby. Yeah.
Ruby. Sorry, Vera's Vera too. I'm sure.
I'm
The
sure.
author, but yeah, not to Ruby. So yeah, it was funny. It was short, quick, pure smut. It was definitely funny. So
I did use our Instagram account to follow her. Just
did you?
So we're up to date on her releases.
Oh my god! So we'll have all kinds of content from her. So how was the tentacles?
I did read both My Tentacle Romance, the best Valentine's Day ever, a romantic tentacle pregnancy erotica, and also My Tentacle Romance, a tantalizing time with tentacle dumped monster, an egg-filled happily ever after. Whew. And both of them are, I know, I try to do it as fast as possible. Both of them were very questionable. So the first one, she's dumped on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Cool. Her car breaks down in the rain.
Of course.
So she finds herself a cave, and yeah,
because that's what we all do.
Yeah, duh. She's gonna just hunker down for the night in her tight dress. It's fine. And then like the tentacle monster is in there, just comforting her. Right? She lets him have her way. Him, her, it, they, whatever. Lets it have its way with her, and then fills her with eggs because
eggs.
Eggs. Also, not sure how that works on a scientific standpoint, but I'm not a scientist, so. And then somehow not only fixes her car, but also drives it to the cave entrance. How?
Oh my god.
Okay. And then the second one is, they meet for like a monster date. Like she has like a monster dating app on her phone or something.
It's the same chick?
No.
Oh.
It's a different chick. Hopefully a different tentacle monster, because if not, that would be awkward.
Mm-hmm. Because nothing else about it is awkward at all.
No people have problem with this like tentacle monster. It's not an octopus. It's legitimately just like a ball of tentacles. Nobody else in the restaurant's like, hey, that's weird. He slips a tentacle mid-date, just slip it in. And then they go back to his place, and he's like an author, I guess, of her favorite book. I don't know how that works, but he has a typewriter and shit. And then, also eggs and pregnancy. He just fills her with eggs, and then I don't understand how that she incubates them.
Which one's your favorite?
Probably the second one. Because they are in love, okay?
Oh, okay.
They fell in love. It's not just a random cave meeting.
Oh my god. What is with us, like, our KU cringes and eggs recently? Yeah. It's a thing, and maybe it's a sign of spring. And speaking of spring, I found an Easter read that is so cringeworthy. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 21 pages. The
Perfect.
author is Nora Noodle. And it's called Mating with Mallows, an erotic sentient candy romance. So, Cecilia Reynolds has hated sweets ever since she was a child, particularly those of the pastel Easter candy variety. This earns her teasing from friends and colleagues due to the passionate nature of her vehemence. But can one chance encounter with sentient marshmallow rabbit hunks change your mind about this aversion forever?
Oh my god, no. One person is currently reading.
Yeah, the reviews are just...
I know, I'm scrolling.
They're so good. Not a lot of humor in the actual story, but the premise is hilarious and also gives me the willies. Peeps with textured penis. Do not want... I'm so excited to read this.
Okay.
Okay, what's mine?
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Oh, okay. Yours is only 4 pages, which the reviews are wild on this one. It is by Colt Alcove. It is... I'm so excited. Hold on.
Okay.
It is called Taken by Canada. You need to look it up and look at the cover for me, please.
Taken by Canada? Oh my god. It's like the worst Photoshop.
Okay, so Taken by Canada is... One man has a dream to fuck Canada. Will he succeed? Only reading will tell you the answer. by the author of the critically acclaimed erotic novel Taken by the Lightning Bolt.
Oh my god.
And I need to read some of the reviews because, oh my god.
It's the same guy on the Taken by the Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
Okay, people listening, go right now. Go, if you have the Goodreads app, please go look up Taken by Canada, because it's literally the best cover I have ever seen in my life. It's so good. Look at the font. Oh god.
It's papyrus.
Of course it is.
Okay, so one of the reviews is, I read this on FaceTime with my friend because she told me to, and we aren't friends anymore. Another one, I do not believe that I am mentally, physically, or emotionally capable of reading what is probably the most unique and utterly bewildering, if not categorically disturbing 4 pages of literature.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you. I'm crying.
Did you read it? Did you read it? Oh man, I can't wait.
I should.
Yeah, you should, because it's 4 pages.
You know what's crazy? Okay, so
oh my god.
My goal for 2024 reading 48 books is quickly becoming like I am ahead of schedule because of these stupid books.
They're so good. 4 pages. I might read the Lightning Bolt ones. I mean, Taken by the Lightning Bolt. Oh my god, that one's 4 pages as well.
Is it really? I need to look up Taken by the Lightning Bolt.
An average rating of 2.61 stars.
This one's 3.04.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this one has like a really long, like, okay, we're gonna read this after.
Please. Yeah.
Okay, let me not start now, because okay. Oh my god, that's
oh my god. So excited. Our next segment, we are welcoming the wonderful, awesome special guest DV Leigh. So please welcome her with us.
Hello, DV.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So DV Leigh is the author of the Grimwell Legacies trilogy, as well trilogy. Sorry, as well trilogy. Trilogy. I can read. Yeah. Of Blood and Burn, and most recently Hollowed Misfits.
Yeah.
So we don't have to discuss just Hollowed Misfits, but can you start off by telling us just a little bit about it for our listeners?
For Hollowed Misfits, it's a dark romance fantasy that is not typical. It is in a world with 3 different realms in it that have like basically the good, the bad, and the outcasts. Mm-hmm. And it follows some warriors that are sent out to kind of help rid the bad for the good people. And the main character, Callista, is just out there. She is so funny and just kind of doesn't think about things before she says them. And she ends up just falling into a trap into the evil lair. And yeah, it's not your typical dark fantasy, but it's a little novella. It's small, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that takes me.
Yeah, it's super fun.
It was fun to read.
Yeah, for sure.
So, if your writing style was a weather phenomenon, what would it be and why?
I would have to say it's not necessarily like a weather phenomenon, but it would be more like an earthquake.
Just all at once.
Yeah, so it like hits me really hard at first as soon as the idea comes, and I just can't stop writing or thinking about it. And as like the aftershocks of an earthquake, it like hits me in waves, and then it doesn't stop until either I hit a block or the story ends.
I like that. That's pretty cool. So, what is your favorite book you have written so far, and why?
That one's hard just because each of my books are uniquely different.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really loved writing Shadow Divide, which is the second of my trilogy.
Yes.
And that's because I loved the character shift with Holly, one of the main characters, and I really resonated with that. But I do just love all my books, so it's hard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you have many deleted scenes, or is there one that you can share with us?
Actually, the funny thing is I've never done that.
Really?
Really?
Yes. So my books write the way they are meant to. And I haven't seen a reason to delete any of the scenes as they all have a plan or purpose for the specific story.
Oh, that's
that makes
pretty
sense.
cool.
Yeah.
So, who was your favorite character to develop?
Wow. So I have a mixture of two. I really loved doing Callista just because she was that out there, crazy, weird kind of character. But I equally loved writing Blair Grimwell, who's like the main in the Grimwell Legacies. And it's just because I really resonated with her a lot.
Mhm.
She's definitely a lot of me in that person or that character.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh, if you could have a conversation with one of your characters, who would it be and what would you discuss?
So this is going to sound super cheesy.
I love cheese.
But I would love to meet Griffin. And
Ooh.
if you read the Grimwell Legacies, he's the main hunka. And
Mm-hmm.
he's literally like my perfect book boyfriend. And I just want to know more about him. Even though I wrote him, I'd love to meet him.
Just go on a coffee date real quick.
Yeah, just
you
a little
know.
bit. It's fine.
That's funny.
That is hilarious. I love it.
So, what do you enjoy writing more, world building or character creation?
Both, to be honest. I believe that like both are very crucial to building a story, and one can't get more love than the other.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would agree with, as a reader, I would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How would you imagine the soundtrack of Hollowed Misfits? Do you have any tracks that you would put in there?
Soundtracks are so hard for me because I am one of those epic, instrumental kind of people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like, you know who Hans Zimmer is, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep. So he does so many different varieties of different things that it makes and breaks the story.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I imagine when I'm writing my books and when I like reread through them, that kind of instrumental dimension throughout it, but I don't have like a specific like track or something that would have to go for it.
Right. So more of like a score than like songs.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. I don't think any book is ever easy to write, of course, but which was your hardest, and do you have one that you would pick as your easiest?
My hardest book is 100% Blended Chaos. That's the third book. And I want to just say it's not because I didn't want to write it. It's because I wanted to make it so it had 100% clarifying justice for the whole trilogy.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
It's because it's the end. I can't leave it unanswered.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Well, yeah.
I guess... Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, but I'd say the easiest for me was Of Blood and Burn. And that's only because that one hit me so fast. And I couldn't stop. I had that book written and published in 4 weeks.
Oh my gosh. That
That's
was a big
amazing.
earthquake.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stop. It hit me and I was like, I have to do this.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
What is the most unexpected inspiration you've had for a story or a character?
Weirdly enough, I don't have an answer for this one. But it's only because sometimes my stories, as I'm writing a story, my mind will sidebar itself and go, hey, this is a cool idea. And out of nowhere. And I'm like,
Write that
okay.
down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I just I finished what I was doing, go to that little sidebar. I'll write like a little chapter of it. So I, can save it. And then I'll hit that one later. But I have like 5 stories right now with 1 chapter.
Oh, wow. That's insane.
It is insane.
Yeah.
So
Very impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a writing ritual, like must have coffee, must have tea, a certain kind of music needs to be playing, specific room, anything like that, like a writing ritual?
So yes and no. I can write anywhere. basically on anything, right? Like notebooks, on my computer, my desktop, my laptop, you know, at work, you know, just all the above. But I have to have a specific station playing, and it's only because I've heard it and it so many times, and it draws me into like a zone that I can tune out the world around me.
What is that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's the Film Scores radio on Pandora.
Ooh.
You're a Pandora user.
Yes.
No judgment. I just haven't come across one in the wild in a long time.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can find that I can listen to consistently, and it just helps me shut the world out.
That's awesome.
That makes sense, yeah.
I like that.
I was thinking about asking that question while you were talking about the soundtrack, but I knew it was coming, so
yeah.
I waited.
No, you did.
Yeah. So do you map out your story structure, or does it just kind of come to you?
I have tried to map out. I end up derailing like a horrible train accident. And so I just write as it comes to me.
That's amazing.
And it's so constant that it comes to me all the time, even when I try to sleep. So it's
the worst.
Yeah. It doesn't
You're
matter.
like laying there and you have to get up and write something down. Wait.
You got sticky notes next to the bed.
Yeah. I have the little note thing on my phone, and you wouldn't believe like the random scribbles that are in there.
That's awesome.
I would love to see that, actually.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be interesting.
Like random names, like weird spellings of things, and yeah.
I love it.
I do too.
So what has been the most rewarding part of being an author?
I have two for that. And it's because the first one for me is actually getting to hold a physical copy of my book, of the story that I actually created. Holding that in my hands is unreal.
Yeah.
The second one is seeing how my stories resonate with so many readers.
Yes.
And like watching them and seeing their reactions and their like how they make them happy, how they make them sad, how they feel. And there's just no other instant greater gratification than that.
That's awesome.
If that makes sense.
No, it does.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I am a review stalker, and I will admit that. It's only because it like brings me so much joy, even if it's like not someone's cup of tea. Like I take note on that, and I'm like, hey, you know, what else can I tweak or do or expand on? You know? But
that's really cool. Just impacting, like, I mean, we're strangers essentially, and you wrote something and it had an impact on them. I just can't even imagine. I'm very like, it's like I envy you for having that capability, and not in a bad way. It's in a good way. I just think it's so cool that you have that. It's very rewarding, I'm sure.
Well, and I do notice that too with your books too, is that like you don't stick to one genre. It's all fantasy, but you do it in different ways that it's still engaging to different people that have that, like, I don't know, they like that more than, the others. And I really appreciate that too.
Yeah, like a variety. You have a variety of readers, which is also really good. It's awesome.
So one might not be your cup of tea, but
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I've met some amazing people, and it's all from different, you got your dark fantasy, your romance fantasy, your even just your dark romance with no fantasy. Like I have so many people in my life now that I never thought I would have before. And it's surreal for sure.
That's cool.
It's amazing. So I did notice the Easter egg for Rorschach. I believe that's Callista's last name. Is there any other Easter eggs that I missed?
So it's funny that you mentioned that, because I didn't plan on that being an Easter egg.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I was like,
my psychology degree.
Right. I have always been fascinated with like the mind and its inner workings. And the Rorschach's test was like just so cool to me. And for some reason, just it hit with that character, and like how, like I said, she's not right in the mind. Like, it's just out there. And to me, that's what I picture the Rorschachs. So I don't know. That just was why I picked it. Plus, I really like that word.
It's a good word.
Right.
It's a good word.
That's really cool.
But it really wasn't an Easter egg. And I've never actually thought about Easter eggs in my story. So that's kind of crazy.
That's pretty cool, though.
That's awesome. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I just didn't assume everybody would know what the Rorschach test was. So I was just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't hear that a lot.
No, you don't.
Like, you can ask somebody on the street and they're like, what is that?
And they're like, no, an ink blot. And they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really cool. That last name, I like that.
I liked it too.
Yeah. So if you could spend a day with any author in the world, who would it be?
I have to say, I can't safely just pick one author.
It's so hard.
Right, I know. That's a hard question. I'm sorry.
No,
you're
okay.
a party.
There's just so many different wonderful authors out there, from like classics to like the indies that I meet now. And each one has its own unique writing style that I'm blessed myself to be among them, you know?
Right.
And so it's hard for me to just pick one person. Each one is just so inspirational.
Oh,
Oh,
that's sweet.
that's very sweet.
It is very
I like
sweet.
it too.
She's so humble.
She is. Talking about which, as someone, so Stephanie and I have been playing around with the idea of possibly writing a book ourselves. What advice can you give? Where do you start?
Do it. It can be
Just do it.
Just do
Just do it.
It can be challenging, but also rewarding.
We're going to text you every week.
Do it.
No.
I'll be there. I got you. I know.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I've learned the ins and outs of so many things, and I'm still learning. But there's definitely going to be trials and errors with it. It's not easy, but it's.
Oh no.
No, we know that.
Yeah.
I would say honestly, start writing things down. Little bit at a time, and then it'll just eventually become something great, because I don't know, like I just started playing around with some ideas that I've had in my head for years, and next thing I knew, a paragraph turned into a 300-page novel, and
I love it.
I don't know how it happened, to be honest, and I'm now on my 6th book, and I have no idea how.
That's amazing.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So do you have any signings or events coming up that we can help promote?
Oh, most definitely. Well, so I had one later this year called Books and Bourbon. I actually had to cancel that due to personal reasons, but I will be attending in August of 2025 the Once Upon a Con Fantasy Convention.
Ooh.
That's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
It's like a 4-day convention, and there's like a ball, like a masquerade ball. No, actually, it's a Starfall ball for like A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Oh, I just started reading that.
I haven't read that yet. I'm so
we
bad
have time.
Behind.
We have time.
That would be so fun.
That's the one I have planned as of right now.
Ooh, that sounds so exciting and fun.
Shit, maybe we can see you there.
Yeah, I want to be there so bad. We're like fangirls. TV. We'll be like running.
I'd love to meet you guys.
I know. I have an author friend. No big deal.
No big deal.
I mean, it is on the other side of the, states, but
well, my husband's family's from Pennsylvania, so
that's true.
Oh, nice.
I can I'll be like, oh, let's go visit your family. I'm just gonna leave for a couple days. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, do it. I'm going to be posting quite a bit about it as it gets a little closer, just because that's end of next year. But I'm excited for that one.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
What are you working on next?
Oh, you guys.
Can you any spoilers?
I try to push my limits. I want to push myself to see what I can do. And each one of my books, my trilogy, my standalones, all that stuff, they are all, like I said, similar but different, because you have the dark fantasies, the urban fantasies, the romance, etc. So I'm trying to push myself out of the box a little.
Okay.
Just taking a step away from the fantasy for this one.
Oh.
And it is a dark romance thriller.
Sorry.
We
gotta keep going.
And I don't want to give too much away, but it's getting there. I am actually really excited for this one. There's plot twists and turns and things that you wouldn't expect happening.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
Oh, that's
we
exciting.
love thrillers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one just because I wanted to try and see if I could do it. And this idea would not leave my head.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
The earthquake came. And
Yeah,
here it is.
it's still going.
I'm going
The
to think about that now all
aftershocks.
the time.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
I did want to quickly go off script real quick. I was drawing you, and I noticed you also have a Vishvasir tattoo.
Oh, yeah, on my arm?
Yeah, we already have BFF tattoos, you and I.
Really?
Yeah, I have one too.
I got one with my mother and my sister because it is, we're like descendants of Viking. So we wanted to commemorate that with a compass to show us the way.
Yeah.
That is so rad.
That's why I got one too.
Yep.
But, yeah.
That is so cool.
I just, as I saw that, I'm like, oh, we're BFFs without being BFFs, but we are now, so.
Don't you love that?
Yeah, I do.
So we have to go to Pennsylvania next year.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meet her.
Yeah, start looking for tickets because I'm still looking too.
Well, thank you so much for
joining us.
Being
Yeah.
part of our show today. We really appreciate it. You're so sweet and humble, and I appreciate you coming on and helping our little podcast.
Oh, yeah, anytime.
And we
I
love
hanging
picking
out
your
with
brain.
you guys.
You too. And I love picking your brain with all the questions. I'm sure we'll have you on again if you're not too busy.
Yeah.
And
you can always
blow
message
up.
me.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, Stevie, and we love you. And go pick up her book, Hollowed Misfits.
Yes.
And keep a lookout for what was that event called again next year?
The Once Upon a Con Fantasy Convention.
Once Upon a Con Fantasy Convention in Lancaster, PA.
Yep.
Ooh, so excited.
All right. Thank you, Stevie.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Well, folks, that's all the tea, KU Cringe, and authorly insights we had for you today.
If you're feeling inspired by our unique brand of literary criticism, feel free to leave a comment below with your own bad book recommendations. We're always looking for new material. As always, I'm your co-host, Stephanie.
And I'm Beck.
This has been Novelty with S&B Thurstea. See you in the next chapter.